Hi, I'm Robin Birkin, an ex-corporate marketer turned online business owner. I took everything I knew and created a six-figure life coaching business in the margins between nap times and a 9 to 5, and I'm here to share with you how you can do the same. Tune in as I share the raw and unfiltered truths, big lessons, and practical tips to help you build and grow a sustainable bread-winning business online that is both peaceful and profitable. Here, we dive deep into all things online courses, funnels, audience growth, and so much more. If that sounds like the things you want to learn, then welcome to Signature Online Course Secrets. Let's go.
Hi, today we are talking all about taking time off from the school holidays and what it looks like to be strategic in taking time off versus what it looks like to let everything crumble and let everything go down to momentum zero, which I believe is actually completely the wrong approach for your business. So in Australia, we are about to go into our big school break. If you're in the UK, if you're in the US, it's likely going to be around that mid-year time when you'll go into the bigger school holidays. And one of the biggest things I see happen with women in business who are juggling part-time business and also entrepreneurship is that things almost go back to zero during school holidays, especially when we're on the longer school holidays break. And if this is you, if maybe you're about to go on the big school holiday break or even just a holiday break because we're coming up to Thanksgiving and Christmas and all of those things, I really want to implore you to reconsider how you are taking the break. We all need a break in business. And one of the things I say to my clients on mastermind calls all the time is that we're not robots. We're not even men. And we don't really have that ability to continually go at full pace in our business all the time. So if you take breaks in your business in certain periods, and for me, one of the reasons why I prioritize live launching, does that mean that I sometimes will lean into times in my business when I do hybrid selling, i.e. the program is evergreen, but, then we'll layer on live launches? Absolutely. But you will find that the majority of the revenue vast majority of the revenue that I have in my business comes from a live launch model. And one of the reasons that I have that is because my life isn't steady. My business is a stop and start style of business. And you might be nodding your head and being like, yes, my business is stop and start too. Or maybe it's not, but you want to be able to take time off during the school break. Maybe you don't even have kids and you're like, well, yeah, but I want to have a nice break over Christmas. And how do you navigate that? There's a lot of people who I used to think myself even that the year officially begins in February, and I wouldn't even plan really anything until my head was clear, until we were in February, because quarter four was all about sprinting with Black Friday, completing the launches that we'd just had, and then feeling almost like I was scrambling and just trying to do the bare minimum, and then wanting time off in my business and really foreseeing that as a time that revenue would slow down as well. And therefore, I needed to just take time off. I needed to go very gently about the way that I did the school break. And then when we kicked off in February, it would almost be like, as soon as the kids went back, right, let's sprint, let's do as much as we can, and really felt always like I was hitting the ground, not just running, but hitting the ground on the back foot. And this became particularly apparent to me in 2022. So it was the end of 2022. I'd come off a pretty great launch, actually, for my program and wasn't adequately prepared for the school break. Now, I've actually, for whatever reason, I have written on a piece of paper, create the business that you want when things have not settled down. When you are in the middle of the shit show of business, you need to create a business that withstands that. And so what I see a lot of women in business do is just take their foot completely off the pedal during school breaks. And if you're like me, I have 4 school breaks throughout the year. But here's the problem. marketing and sales are a lagging indicator, which means that if every time you're on school holidays, you are going back down to zero in terms of momentum, in terms of trust, authority, etc. in your business, it's not necessarily going to show immediately when you get back. It's then going to create like a hangover in your business. So ideally, what we want is to be able to, number one, potentially set up our business to have sprint rest cycles. I find that works so well for women in business. And if you're like, yeah, but launching is really stressful, then is there something else off in the business that we don't have the resources available, that our launches aren't as successful as we want or need them to be? Or is there, are we just not getting the leads? What is the actual problem that is causing launches to be really stressful? And then allowing us to have that sprint rest cycle. But the rest cycles should be a time when you don't drop everything down to zero. It's a time when you have things running on autopilot that actually don't need your manual input. We can circle into a type of business model where school holidays are a time when actually your momentum in your business is growing while you are taking time off. And by that, I usually mean, not always, that we have things already in the pipeline. So you should be now in your business. Let's say that you want $250,000 to $300,000 in your business in 2025. That equates to, if you want a $250,000 business, that's $21,000 per month. If you want a $500,000 business, that's $41,500 per month. So if you take all of December and all of January off, this is why you're potentially feeling like you're not hitting your revenue goals, is because you don't have a strategy in place to manage December, January, other school holidays. Because if you are already starting the year and already you're almost like $40,000 behind your target, then it's going to be really hard for you to continually catch up. And it's going to be continually hard for you to catch up when you've just lost momentum in your business. So ideally what we want is an autopilot system that will be running in line with where we are at in our promotional cycle. So you're likely not going to live launch in school holidays. You're likely not going to be able to start delivery of a program in school holidays. But what you are going to be able to do is in quarter 4, set up recurring revenue streams, set up business that begins like secured revenue for 2025, and also set up for pre-launch, which might mean automated funnels that are growing your email list, that are enrolling people into your nurture sequences and building trust and building a wait list asynchronously while you are living your best life with your kids, or maybe not living your best life with your kids if they're on holidays and demanding snacks every 3 seconds. But you're going to then hit February not doing what I did in 2022, which was completely dropped the ball in December. We came off a big launch and then all shit hit the fan. We went on a big holiday. There was no way for me to catch up. I launched in February to a lackluster launch because I had lost engagement over December, January. And then was knee deep in delivering other programs that I had already committed to that I wasn't able to catch up either financially or just generally with my workload until about June, July. And I want to say July. So a lot of the plans that I had made just kept getting pushed back month after month after month. So when I made my yearly plan eventually in February, there was just like no way for me to catch up until June, July. By which point, like I said, if you have the goal for $21,000 per month or even $41,500 per month, and maybe that's through live launching, so it's going to be in chunks, right? So it might be like $60,000 per quarter. It's still really hard to catch up if you've gone back to zero in your business.
There's one question I've been asked more than anything else, and it's this. Robin, how do you get so much done in such a short period of time? Because I've never had the luxury of being able to work in my business and hustle those 40 to 60 hour weeks. It's all been between nap times, a 9 to 5, or the school run. And from my second year in business and ever since, we've had 6-figure plus years. So this is it. I've put together for you my entire weekly work schedule, my to-do list, and everything I do in my business to help give you the tips, insights, and strategies to help you thrive as a business owner in part-time hours. It's called 16-Hour CEO, and it's a value-packed PDF that takes you behind the scenes in my business. Want a copy? It is totally free and it's at launcheasylife.com/CEO. That's launcheasylife.com/CEO. All right, let's dive back into the episode.
So what I would encourage you to do is now, right now, with advance notice. So Q4, yes, is a big selling period, but especially if you are a mum in business working part-time hours, this should also be a time when you know exactly what you want in 2025, exactly what the game plan is, what are the products that I'm going to sell, what does that offer ascension ladder look like, what does my promotional schedule look like? And this is where props to a signature course-based business and having a really clear offer strategy is incredibly important and makes business 10 times easier. And then have a plan for exactly what part of your promotional timeline you're in within January or within July, August in the major school holidays so that you are not dropping momentum down to zero. And a lot of the time we're like, oh yeah, and like I need to schedule some Instagram. It goes so much farther beyond Instagram. Right now should be a time when we're reviewing funnels, setting up, like I said, our messaging and promotional structure for any launches that we're doing to kick off in the new year so that we're not hitting the new year on the back foot. And ideally, you'll also already have secured in November and December revenue for 2025 so that, again, you're not starting the year at zero and then having to start from scratch again. Ideally, how would it feel to have 5 or 10K per month into the first 3 to 6 months of 2025 so that you didn't have to stress about scrambling when you hit February? Let me just repeat what I think can be really amazing for you and produce that security, that regulated feeling within your business, and also allow you to enjoy school break or just Christmas break or Thanksgiving or whatever it is that you celebrate. So understanding that financial stability for 2025 starts now in 2024, and then looking at your revenue goals, reverse engineering those and setting the game plan and the promotional schedule. What is the offer strategy going to look like? What is the sales launch promotional calendar going to look like? Then looking at, well, if that's the case, what revenue will I secure in November and December, ready to take me into the December break and into January? And then what am I going to run based on the promotional schedule for March, April, now? Starting now, get it set up now, because we all know that the week before school breaks up is a complete shit show. It is for me anyway, every single year. Things just go ham. There's 1,000,001 kids events. I'm buying presents for everyone and scrambling to buy the Christmas presents because there's so much that I still haven't bought for them. Well, what would it feel like to go into the last week, your last week of freedom, feeling really calm, feeling like everything was under control. You knew exactly what was happening in your business, what the game plan was, and you could coast along in that week and actually enjoy yourself rather than feel like you're navigating chaos. And so that's the exact type of thing that we support you with in the Peace and Profit Mastermind. We have just a day and a little bit left for you to jump on a call with me, let me know about your business and see whether Peace and Profit is the right fit for you. And the day and a half is there to secure our early bird bonuses. So you will still have the opportunity, unless we fill all places. We have a very limited number of places. So we may have a couple of places still available after the next day or so if you're still listening to this. However, right now we have an early bird offer that includes a 90-minute deep dive call with me. And that's exactly what we can speak about in that deep dive call. You will also get your Sweet 6 game plan early. You'll also be able to join our, depending on when you join, yes, you will be able to join our 2025 planning session that we are running live and be able to really set that plan for what is going to happen in December, in January, so that you can have a break and not lose momentum with a giant hangover that lasts for months, because marketing is a lagging indicator. I want you to go into January feeling easy breezy, under control, and with cash secured so that you can have a great break. And if that sounds like something that you would be interested in, please peep the link below in the show notes. Reach out to me on Instagram. Let's have a chat. If you can't find a time, we can always chat back and forth on Instagram as well. But if a Sweet Six business that flows with school holidays or whatever your promotional schedule is the goal, then let's get to work ASAP and create that for you in 2025. Thank you so much for listening. I will speak to you soon. Bye.
Another episode on the books. If you'd like to continue the conversation and get more super savable tips, come and find me on Instagram at Robin Birkin. Otherwise, make sure you're subscribed, and I can't wait to see you next week.